Mount Charleston, which, by the way, if you catch Las Vegas at the right time, right where it's starting to turn from winter into spring, you can go snowboard, get down the mountain, change into your swimsuit, and go swim in the same day. Hello and welcome to Las Vegas. X to Z Money Masters. So as you well know, that here on this channel, we are derived in Las Vegas. And we've talked a lot about why people are moving here and how many people are moving here and a lot of things like that. But we've never really done a Vegas update. We've never really given you a reason why everyone is moving here. So that's what the center of this video is going to be, is just around the things just in the past 6 months to maybe a year that are changing for Las Vegas, and people that are changing fast.
Here's the deal, folks. People are moving to Vegas at an enormous pace. Something like, I think the statistic is 130 people a day come to Vegas for their permanent residence. We pulled some information of kind of new things happening in Vegas just in the last couple of weeks or so, and we thought we'd share some of those with you, but then we're also going to reference back, as Devin indicated, 6 months to a year to kind of talk about the evolution of projects moving into the Vegas Valley. I'm just going to tell you something. I've lived in a lot of places in the United States of America. Vegas is the coolest place I've ever lived by far, and I highly recommend you give it some consideration. If you're thinking about leaving wherever you are and finding a new place to live, give Vegas some consideration.
So just to give you a quick rundown, we obviously got the Raiders. They have their stadium here. The A's were announced. F1 is here now.
Yeah.
There's been some...
We had the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl, yeah. We have some information that NBA is on its way here. They haven't really gotten anything figured out just yet, but there's word of a privately funded 40-acre mixed development going towards somewhere in the south of Las Vegas, towards maybe Henderson or something like that. As I said, there's not a whole lot of detail on it yet, but they're looking at doing something pretty incredible. We got the Brightline railroad coming that's going to be connecting Las Vegas and California, so you can take those weekend trips without the traffic.
I read an article that Brightline train is going to cost $400 to go from Vegas to California. I don't know about that. As much as I want to avoid the drive over the desert, I'm not sure I'm willing to spend $400 to not drive.
Well, the good thing is a lot of people will be able to write that off on taxes.
Yeah.
So it'll keep a lot of traffic off the road. So then the drive will then become more bearable.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
We are getting the fastest bullet train in the United States of America, running between California and Vegas. That's super cool stuff,
Incredible.
Right? We just finished the Memorial Day weekend, and Vegas had 350,000 unique visitors come into town for Memorial Day weekend for a 3-day weekend. Incredible. 350,000 people. Devin, most cities in America, and I'm not talking about LA, Orlando, New York, but most cities in America, if 350,000 people came to visit over the weekend, they would be insanely overwhelmed. Vegas handles it like, what are you talking about? The town's empty, right? Give them the EDC number, man.
Yeah, so just a reference, I did attend EDC back in 2016, and I think there was a grand total of, it was record numbers for Las Vegas EDC. I think it was 175,000. And that was in 2016. We had 520,000 estimated visitors. That is a lot of people at the Motor Speedway.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
And they're spending, I got to tell you, the people going to EDC are more your age than my age, right? Although I'm very encouraged by, I saw on TikTok recently a grandma that attended EDC, and they made a big deal about her videos and stuff, and I was so motivated by that. I was like, maybe I'm not too old to go to EDC.
Yeah, you never too
now
old.
I'd only do the Maverick helicopter in. I'm not going to drive. If your plan for EDC is to drive in, good luck. Here's the thing about it, though: the average cost to attend EDC is astronomical. So these are people dropping thousands of dollars into the economy when they come to Vegas, and it's just I think it's one of the super cool events in the world.
It's not EDC. A light pocket event. To give you some retrospect, I know inflation has gotten kind of out of control, but EDC-flation, insane. Whenever I first went, I took a picture, and it was when I volunteered back in 2018, so it hasn't been exactly almost 10 years yet, but a 6-pack of Bud Light, just take a guess on how much that was in 2018.
So if I go to the store, a 6-pack is going to be probably $10, eight to $10. So
Right.
I'm going to double that and say $20 for a 6-pack.
So in 2018, it was $40. This year, it was 140. Way too much.
Okay.
Way too much.
Yeah, that's not even fun.
No, and the most expensive package at EDC is actually, I think it was like $120,000.
Yeah.
For 6 bottles of champagne.
Yeah, crazy. Anyway, if you got that kind of flow, enjoy.
More power.
Yeah. Let me talk about ICSC. ICSC is a huge commercial real estate conference that occurs in Vegas annually, and all the commercial realtors from all over the country, all over the world, as well as all the companies that are out there franchising and growing. That convention drew 40,000 attendees. 40,000 attendees. That's a big, big number for ICSC.
Just coming to talk about real estate.
Just coming to talk about real estate, network, and meet people. One thing that's super cool, Devin, about Vegas is if you don't visit for about 10 years and you come back, we've almost totally reinvented ourselves practically every decade. I think that makes Vegas fun.
In the last year, it's been crazy. I mean, we got the Sphere. The Universal is...
Universal Studios horror park is coming.
To do a year-round horror park.
Yeah.
We're looking at a $1.5 billion beach that's going to be next to the Rio. That's in plans. Nobody knows when they're going to break ground on that just yet, but that's in plans.
Devin, I got a real problem with a $1.5 billion lagoon and beach being put in the middle of the desert. We have challenges with water. We've discussed this in past videos. We don't have the challenges most people think that we have, but we are in the middle of the desert. So how do you think that got approved?
They were saying that California is going to be siphoning some of their water and kind of distributing it that way. That way we have a little bit of more tourism and they allow us to use their water for possible profit.
We'll see how that goes. For the record, Nevada draws 3% of its water usage from the Colorado River. It's the lowest percentage used by any Western state. Nevada's done a phenomenal job of water conservation. Okay, so couple of interesting things we want to share with you about what makes Vegas an exciting place to live. Vegas was just rated the #1 top travel destination this summer on TripAdvisor. So more people have booked reservations and travel plans to come to Vegas in the next 100 days than anywhere else in the United States of America. So that is super cool. And we've got some incredible pools, some incredible water parks, and a whole lot of fun here in the summertime. If you've not been to a resort pool on the Strip, boy, are you missing out on some fun.
Yeah, I mean, some of them even have the sports book. The Circa, it's got a sports book with a bunch of different games and stuff like that on. You can sit in the pool and bet and watch your sports.
Circa's Stadium Swim is what it's called, and if you haven't been yet, I think it's $20, $30, maybe $40 to get in.
And it's adults only, right?
Adults only, and it's an awesome experience. If you're a people watcher, you just enjoy watching people. This thing is enormous, and there's just a variety of pools, and you can just kind of station yourself in a pool with a cold cocktail and not only watch the big screens and sports, but also just the people. It's an amazing place to spend a day. And also I've seen several people, and I've attended a few birthday parties there. If you're thinking about coming to Vegas for your birthday, Stadium Swim at Circa is a fun place to go. Now, Devin, let's talk about something that I think is kind of interesting because I'm a huge A's fan in Major League Baseball. Okay, I grew up, my uncle was stationed up there at Skaggs Island Naval Base, and I would go up every summer, 72, 73, 74, spend with my uncle, and he had season tickets to the A's. Now, interestingly, those are the 3 years the Oakland A's won the World Series.
No kidding.
And our seats were right in right field, directly behind Reggie Jackson. Is that not the coolest thing? So I'm a diehard Oakland A's fan, and I'm very excited that the A's are coming to Las Vegas. But what's interesting about the news out today is we obviously are tearing down the old Tropicana Hotel to make room for the stadium for the A's. But what's interesting is Bally's has just announced, Bally's owns the site, and what they've just announced is a change. They're not just building a baseball stadium, they are now building a casino resort and baseball stadium.
No kidding. Is that the first of its kind?
I think it's going to be, yeah. I think there are similar concepts out there in the world of a stadium with a city kind of, not a city, but a retail experience around it. But I think this is the first actual construction in the world of a casino resort and baseball stadium. And so I think it's brilliant on Bally's part.
Absolutely.
I never understood the announcement of just a stadium. I'm like, why would you put just a stadium there? Put gaming, put all of that there, put beautiful pools. It's a great location. And in my opinion, it's a crown jewel location in Vegas. It bookends the south end of the strip to a degree. And there'll be many people south of that will argue with that, I guess. But in my mind, it's kind of a bookend and a real opportunity. So that's a big announcement out of Bally's, and congratulations to them. I think they're going to have a very successful enterprise there.
Yeah,
and I can't wait to watch the A's.
Honestly, and if they do it anything kind of like, I'm just in my head, I'm thinking like the Aviators, but bigger. I mean, they've got a pool in center field that you can kind of sit and take a dip in. I mean,
Aviators are a minor league baseball team for the A's that operate in Las Vegas in Summerlin, and their baseball stadium there has a pool in the outfield, and you can literally sit in the pool, have a beer, and watch a baseball game. It's pretty dang cool.
I mean, they're probably going to follow something pretty similar to that. I think that would be pretty awesome.
I think that would be super cool. All right, let's talk about for a moment a big announcement in Vegas. Devin, I don't know. I've been in Vegas a long time. There's a lot of big announcements about new developments that are coming that never actually materialize, and I think we got one here. It's got a lot of attention, and that is Las Vegas is getting a spaceport. Okay, well, it's not actually going to be in Vegas. It's going to be about 45 minutes from Vegas. We're hearing
rumor has it it's going to be in Pahrump.
In Pahrump, which is, we call it over the hump to Pahrump. You have to go over a mountain range, Potosi mountain range, to get into Pahrump. It takes about 45 minutes. Here's why I don't think it's actually likely ever going to happen. What the developer has been approved for is an airstrip.
Okay.
Not an actual spaceport. The idea is they're going to develop the airstrip, and then in 4 to 5 years, they would begin working on trying to get approval for a spaceport.
Right.
Sounds super cool and sexy, but I think the reality is that they have a long way to go to raise the investor funds, gain the attraction and attention of investors that will want to do something in that arena. So,
if I'm not mistaken, some of the buzz that I picked up around that was they weren't actually planning to complete development of the actual spaceport until like 2040, 2045. So we're talking like in the distance.
Yeah.
But if you do believe that something like that is possible, might be time to buy a plot of land in Pahrump.
Yeah, might be. Wouldn't it be interesting if Pahrump became a true spaceport destination for the west coast of the United States, right? Yeah, Henderson has announced a $70 million indoor sports complex is coming. Private developers are developing this sports complex.
Could be the NBA stadium I'm talking about.
Could be. Something like that, right? Could happen. It could be a lot of things, but the point being is this. If you don't know, Vegas has quickly become the outdoor super athlete center of the world. And what I mean by that is that these guys that run, and women that run these super marathons, that do triathlons, that do rock climbing, mountain biking, anything that is outdoor adventuring, Vegas is becoming an absolute draw for these people. And here's why. Because A, you can train all year long outdoors.
Yeah.
And B, when you're training in our environment, not only our elevation, but our heat and our hills up and down, it turns out we have like the perfect landscape for these super athletes to train. Because if you can handle the weather in Vegas when you're training, and you're competing in Texas or Chicago or wherever, man, it's an easy adjustment on your body, right? Because you've trained in one of the harshest environments, right? So we're seeing a lot of people coming to Vegas in the sports, outdoor sports entertainment space. And I think this Henderson complex is going to feed right into a place for these people to go when they want to be doing indoor things during their training, right? So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch that happen. Another major development You ready for this one?
Go ahead.
Y'all, I'm sure you know of Elon Musk's The Boring Company. They are hard at work, great company, great team of people working right here in Vegas. And they've just announced that the tunnel system that you can drive your Tesla in and follow along underground in Vegas to get to the airport, to get to the convention center, to get to all these places, have just announced a new station is going to be installed at the Virgin Hotel. Isn't that cool?
I think that's awesome. And once again, I mean, it may not be for everybody, obviously, just like the Brightline might not be for everybody, but all of these creative ideologies are to reduce the amount of traffic that you have to and from California and to and from one and the other side of the strip and the town. I think it's a pretty great idea. From my understanding, you get in there and you hit the autopilot and it just kind of follows along for you, which can be kind of sketchy because it's pretty tight under there.
Yeah.
So, but ultimately, I think it's a great evolution for Las Vegas. I mean, name another place that you can drive under the town.
Let me give you a couple of statistics that were just released. When Boring Company finishes up their project in Las Vegas, there will be 68 miles of total tunnels and 93 stations. A station is where you come up out of the tunnel and get out of the car and go, right? And so they're building these all along the strip, all along Paradise, which is just a few blocks off the strip, all along Valley View, and then the various roads that intersect the strip. And so you're going to be able to literally get in a Tesla, go under the tunnel at the airport, go to your resort, come up, get out at the station, and then do your thing. And you've never had to get in a cab. You've never had to touch a public bus, anything like that, right? And it's really a super cool project. And we've had the opportunity to get to know a number of the people over at the Boring Company, and just a great group of people. And they're building an exciting project. Yeah. Give us some more information. Let's talk. I don't know about you. Lunch is coming up. I'm getting hungry. Share a couple of the restaurants and names that are opening new restaurants in Vegas.
I think if you're coming to Vegas, my sister will come to Vegas and she will literally the entire time she's like here, because she lives in Tennessee. You can't get birria in Tennessee. You can't get street tacos in Tennessee unless you go to the east side. Like, they just don't have the same type of food, and we have every nationality, ethnicity, you name it. They're all in one place here. If you come from a different country and you're a little homesick, come to Las Vegas. We've got your food. It'll make you feel right.
I think you're spot on about that. We are so culturally diverse with our restaurants. It's crazy.
It's incredible.
And it's awesome because you just get to try things and they're convenient to try, and you're getting world-class chefs. Some of the biggest names, well, pretty much if you're a celebrity chef with a big name, you're in Vegas, right? I mean, I'm thinking Joel Rubicon. I'm thinking of, there's so many big names in Las Vegas. Jose Andres, there's just a ton of them. You can eat pretty much anything you want, and you're getting it from some of the best chefs in the world. When you open a restaurant, people tend to come. And our restaurants do very, very well for the most part here in Las Vegas. Now, I'm not saying that some don't fail. I'm not saying issues don't occur. But Vegas is very much a foodie town, and people love to go out and try the various foods here. And we've got an announcement of several new restaurants that are coming to Vegas. If you're coming to Vegas and you want a recommendation on 3, 4, 5 restaurants, drop a comment down below, and we'll be more than happy to recommend a couple. Devin introduced me to a restaurant here in Las Vegas that is now my absolute favorite restaurant I've ever been to anywhere.
Don't say the name. No, that's a cheat code. If you want the name, comment below, and because there's already a lot of people that go there. I'm trying to keep it hush hush.
Well, I'm going to tell you this, and I don't want to take too long on this video, but I was always told my whole life that if you want to eat the best food in the world, you go to Rome, Italy, right? And I've been to Rome, and I've been to Nina's, and I've been to a lot of restaurants in Rome, and it's super great food. I'm not knocking it in any way, but I'm going to tell you something. This restaurant he recommended to me is the greatest meal I think I've ever had anywhere in the world. And I think you feel the same way.
Absolutely.
And it's just a little restaurant. Like, it's really hard to get a reservation. It's really hard to get in. You're not going to walk in and get a seat. It's just, you might, but I'd put it on equivalency with getting hit by lightning. It's just not going to happen.
You can likely have a party of 1 or maybe 2 and walk in and go to the bar.
Okay.
But yeah. Either way, if you want to know drop a comment.
There you go. I like it.
So some honorable mentions as we're coming up to the end of this video that a lot of people tend to forget about or don't even know about. My sister talks to her friends at work in Tennessee and that have been to Vegas several times over the past decade, 20 years, and they have no idea that Fremont even exists. And they've been coming here time and time again because a lot of people get trapped on the strip. Go check out Fremont, Old Las Vegas, downtown Las Vegas, the Arts District, and then you've got state parks. I mean, you've got Valley of Fire, you've got
Red Rock.
Yeah, you've got Red Rock, you've got
Lake Mead,
Death Valley, right down the road, Lake Mead. You've got Mount Charleston, which, by the way, if you catch Las Vegas at the right time, right where it's starting to turn from winter into maybe spring, you can go snowboard, have a beer on the mountain, get down the mountain, change into your swimsuit, and go swim in the same day.
Yeah, Mount Charleston, Lee Canyon, technically, ski resort is about a 45-minute drive west of Vegas, and it's as convenient as it could possibly be. And you literally can snowboard, ski, and then, like you're saying, come back, change into your swimming trunks, and swim in 100-degree temperatures in the afternoon. In the same day. Vegas is so cool. I want to talk for one moment about sports before we end this video, all right? Vegas is, everybody knows, Vegas is super cool for sports now. We're kind of the sports capital of the world, arguably. We're already the entertainment capital of the world. We're the gaming capital of the world. Now, arguably, we're the sports capital of the world. If you don't agree, put a comment down. Make your argument. I'll argue back with you on that subject, okay? Honestly. I want to hear from Boston. I want to hear from New York. I want to hear from Miami. Tell me why you think you're the sports capital versus Vegas. I think we got you beat. Vegas is now in the top 3 consideration for the 2027 college football playoffs. Are potentially coming to Vegas. We've got the stadiums. We can house it. We can do it now. Not a lot of cities have 4 or 5 football stadiums immediately available. We do in Las Vegas. The next one I want to share is super exciting. If you're a FIFA soccer fan, okay? If you're a soccer fan, Vegas, I promise you, Vegas is soon going to be announcing, in my belief, is the next MLS expansion where they're going to add 2 teams. Vegas is going to be one of those expansion teams. I don't think Vegas wants another leftover sports team. Okay, we got the Raiders, we're getting the A's. I don't think Vegas wants to do that again. I think Vegas wants, specifically with the MLS, and I suspect with the NBA as well, they're really holding out for an expansion team because our experience with the Vegas Golden Knights taught us that an expansion opportunity is a much better opportunity to ground and be adopted and loved in the Vegas Valley because we're your first, and your first is always your best, right? Arguably. So I think it's interesting, and I want to share with you that in June, we have a FIFA tournament coming to Las Vegas for FIFA soccer fans, and it's going to be Ecuador versus Jamaica and Brazil versus Paraguay. That's going to be a fun weekend for soccer fans. And so, again, no matter what your interests are in Vegas, no matter what your interests are, if you come to Vegas, on any given weekend, we're probably going to have multiple events you can attend that you're really going to enjoy.
There's no off season in hockey. Let's start there. You can pretty much catch a Knights game almost any time of the year if you stay here for longer than 3-4 days. You could probably find the Knights either practicing or playing another team because there's really not a very large off season.
And that's my absolute favorite sporting event to go to is a Golden Knights game. I absolutely love going to Golden Knights games. And then finally, I'm going to close us out with music. Listen, I mean, whether you want to see Mariah Carey or Usher or whoever the headliner is, they're probably going to be coming through Vegas at some point.
And the Grateful Dead now has a residency here. And they play at the Sphere quite often. They've got some more shows scheduled. They just recently played their first, and it was absolutely sold out.
Was it? Okay. I saw a couple of videos on TikTok of people filming in Sphere while that was on, and it looked super cool. And I actually thought about talking with you because Devin's gone. I haven't. About attending potentially, right?
The Sphere is. I'm an audiophile, a mediaphile. I absolutely adore great quality media, and just the way that on my TikTok I was excited and just ecstatic about the Sphere coming here. It was one of the single best curated pieces of media that I've ever consumed.
Wow.
Hands down. It's just, I mean, there's a screen from the floor 300 feet up all the way above you and down, and you just have and it's 180 degrees from left to right, and just the whole thing. I mean, they had elephants that were walking by in Postcard from Earth, and as the elephant stepped, you could feel it shake the entire theater. And then when it walked by, you could feel the gust of wind that came off. It gave me chills. Like,
Wow.
it's insane.
That's
And then there's
cool.
like a breeze. Like, there's a part that you have like a mountain that you can see, and you can feel the cold air from the mountain. It's incredible.
I heard I've heard some people say that they have to actually sit down on the ground and kind of ground themselves as the video starts, because it can create
100%. Vertigo is a real thing. I'm not car sick. I don't get car sick very often. I was in the military. I've flown in different types of aircraft. I ride motorcycles. I don't have any inner ear problems, and I felt myself leaning. It's that immersive.
Wow.
It is that immersive.
Do you need another reason to move to Vegas? I mean, honestly, this is the coolest place. Okay, you do? You need one more reason? We don't have state income tax in Nevada. If you retire here, you don't pay state income tax on your pension, your retirement income, any of that, your Social Security. You don't pay any of that. So if you have a company out there, why are you not moving your company headquarters to Nevada? Contact your CPA, have a conversation. If you need information, comment below. We'll be more than happy to reach out and provide you everything that we have on the tax benefits of living in Nevada. Super cool place to live, probably the coolest place in the world to live. Super great opportunities for job growth. There's a lot to do in Vegas, whether you're interested in video gaming. All the big video gaming companies are here now. Konami's here. There's a host of others. I don't know a lot about video gaming, so I can't rattle off names.
Rainbow Six Siege last year, they had their esports finale tournament at the Rio. I mean, there's really not too much that's not here.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
We would have a smaller list of things that wasn't in Vegas. And typically,
good point.
I mean, it's incredible. And the only thing we don't have is a beach. And even if he doesn't like it, we're getting one.
Yeah, it sounds like we're getting one no matter what.
There's just so many different things that it's hard to put it in a short video. There's gaming. There's spaceports. There's football, baseball. There's soccer's coming. And the NBA's coming. We have race cars. We have drift cars. We have race car experiences. We have esports. We have an immersive media opportunity that you can't find anywhere else. We have so many different things that it's hard to put in a TikTok, and that's why we made this video, because you're never going to find another place like Vegas unless you move to Vegas.
Yeah, move to Vegas and give Devin Anderson or Jeff Bosford, give us a call. Our links are in the bio. If you like this kind of information, if you like what we're talking about, please like, follow, and recommend us to a few people. We're here transparently, just telling you about Vegas because we're excited to be here, and we want to educate you on how to own your own home and grow your wealth. And so it's all about speaking between generations, Gen X to Z, Money Masters, and the whole idea is to have an honest, open conversation about the opportunities here. Give us a call or shoot us an email or throw a comment in the link, and we'll be more than happy to follow up with you. Until then, we hope you have a terrific rest of your day.
Get rich, people. Take it easy.